My grocery bill is over $1,000, which is insane for one person. So I'm going on this journey of trying not to bring in plastics into my house and having microplastics leach into my food. So I decided to just completely revamp my grocery list and my grocery bill. So I came up with a plan to lower it to about $200 a month. And so before, the issue was I was buying a lot of like pre-made food that's pre-packaged, it comes in plastic. Of course, if it's vegan and it's gluten-free, it's going to cost more money. But let me show you what I have been doing the last couple of days, or at least preparing for. So I have a lot of rice here. This rice will probably last me about a month, depending on how much rice I'm going to have. But then I have these red lentils, and if I don't have them every day, then it will last me a while. I have raw almonds, and these raw almonds are for my breakfast. The medjool dates are also for my breakfast. And then I have a bunch of black beans. I bought more than I should have, so it's like this is a half gallon. This is a full gallon, and this is a half gallon. I have more. So I have these black beans. And then I have more beans because I don't just want one option. I want more than one option. I have pinto beans. So a gallon of pinto beans plus some extra here. And then I have a gallon of chickpeas garbanzo beans. So basically what I want to have my bases as rice and beans. So I can have rice and beans 2 times a day, once for lunch and once for dinner. And then for my breakfast, that's where the dates come in. I want to have 2 in my smoothie, 2 bananas in my smoothie. And then I have some stuff up here. I have some matcha that I've been adding. I have creatine. I have this like mushroom powder, and then my protein. Because why not? And then I also bought this spice rack. So I think like 20 can fit in here. 4 times 4, no, 16. 16 can fit in here. But like, that should be good enough, you know? So I'm just kind of like moving away from the plastic that I have. I mean, I'm going to have to use this up because I already bought it. And I have some other things. I'll have to figure out my tea because this is how this comes. I've been told that having it like this isn't good because, you know, it's sitting in this, I don't know what that is. The filter typically has like chemicals and whatnot in it. So you want to buy it as like just loose leaf and put it in one of those like stainless steel balls and then put it in the water to make tea instead of relying on this. I do still have like other stuff that's still in plastic. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with it. I don't have it enough to, I also want to like avoid moving it over to a glass container and then being like, I don't want it anymore. But now I have to give the whole glass container with it to someone else. I bought some glass containers up here because I'm also getting rid of just the plastic I have. This is glass, but the lid is plastic. And then I have 4 of these. They each hold 10 cups. So that's actually really good. And then, oh, I don't have anything else over here, actually. Let's see. I think that's it for groceries. This is what I currently have in my freezer, which is not a lot. I have frozen broccoli. I need to use the rest of that. I don't know what I'm going to do with this because I don't have any more smoothie. Oh, actually, you know what? I guess I could add it to my morning smoothie. I could, but I also want to do, so I don't want to do anything that I have to freeze, like buy frozen. I don't want to buy it frozen. I'm considering doing super cubes, S-O-U-P-E-R, like soup-er cubes. And basically you make food, you put it in these like cubes, you freeze it, and then you remove it from the mold. And when you're ready to use it, you can put it on a plate and put it in the microwave and heat it up. I don't have a microwave, so I can't do that right now. I'm not going to buy a microwave. I've been in this place for over 6 months, probably like 8 months now. I'm not going to buy a microwave. I'm just going to hope that my next place has one, or when I move, I'll get a microwave, and then that's what I'm considering doing. Because if I can just stock my whole freezer of these like cubes of food everywhere, And then when I'm ready to eat, I can take one out for rice, one out for beans, one out for veggies or whatever else I want, put it on a plate, put it in the microwave for 7 minutes, let it cook, and then that's my meal. And I've seen people do videos where like it doesn't even taste like it's ever been frozen. It tastes like it's like fresh. And I'm also doing like root vegetables and whatnot. I have some potatoes. These are 2 sweet potatoes. I have like 3, what are these, russet potatoes? 1 heirloom tomato, 2 red onions, 2 cucumbers, some carrots, and then Honeycrisp apples. This is leftover. I need to give that to someone because I'm not going to have the rest of it. But yeah, basically I want to lower my grocery bill significantly. And I've been doing some research on like TikTok because like that's a place to go if you're going to go do canning stuff. So basically I want to go grocery shopping once every 2 months for the dried stuff, the beans and all those beans and the rice. If I get a bigger container for the dates, I think I could maybe do grocery shopping for this once every 2 months. And then also for this, a gallon for this as well. And I could do grocery shopping for that once every 2 months. I don't know about the rice. I might need like 4 gallons. It depends on how much rice I'm having, right? If I'm having like a fourth of a cup for every meal, then I'm basically having half a cup of dried rice every day. Or if I'm going to double that and it's going to be like 2 cups of cooked rice every day, that could be a lot and it's not going to last as long. But I would like to also just not go grocery shopping as often. Like I was doing a lot of DoorDash before. I haven't done DoorDash in a while, which is great because that is so expensive. I was doing Whole Foods delivery, which is also expensive. Like it's not that the food itself is actually kind of, depending on where you go. Like I went to Central Market for all of this stuff and it was a lot better deal than going to Whole Foods. And I brought like 100% cotton bags with me, so I didn't like bring any plastic. But I would like to, so back to like Whole Foods. I was getting Whole Foods delivery sometimes 2 times a week because I would run out of food. I was getting these just egg folded eggs. It's like $6, a little less than $6.50 for a pack of 4 of them. And they each come individually wrapped in plastic. So, you know, there's like microplastics touching that, you know, like it's not good. And then the English muffin stuff down here was like $7.99 for a bag of 6. So that would last about a week. And I was doing a lot of frozen foods, frozen mango, putting that in my blender to blend it. But like I would do a 32 ounce of frozen mangoes, organic mangoes, use half a bag for breakfast for one day. So to get through 7 days, I need like 4 bags. And they're expensive. It's just like, it's so expensive. I'm focused on paying off my debt. Then I want to save money. There's other things I want to focus on. I don't want to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so low on money because I'm spending all of this money on food that I don't need to spend on food. So ideally, I would like to go grocery shopping once every 2 months for the dried stuff. That will cut down on how often I go. And then, apples. I have read that apples, if you keep them in the fridge like these, I could buy a whole month's worth of apples and leave them in my fridge. So I could go grocery shopping for apples once a month. And then for the potatoes, I saw like this clay jar that I can buy to put that in and then store it in like a cool, dry place. Like I don't have a basement here. I'm in an apartment. But I could put it in like this clay pot and they could stay in there for like up to a month. You know, because the issue is the longer you have it out, if it's not like a cool, dry place, it starts like growing roots and whatnot. But I could avoid that by buying these clay pots and putting it in there. I could also store onions in there so my onions could last longer. I could store garlic in there and that would work out. I also, back to the TikTok videos, so I saw people take these cucumbers and they would like slice them and they would put them in a small like 32 ounce mason jar, right? Same with carrots. You can take carrots and you can slice them to like little thin stick size, And then you can put water in those or not and put it in a 32-ounce mason jar. And then you can just like take all the air out, like get one of those devices that removes all the air and then store it in the fridge for like a month. So if I'm really planning things accordingly and organizing things well, bananas. I forgot about the bananas. The bananas don't last that long. I would say maybe like a week. I only bought 14 bananas because I'm going to have 2 every single morning. So at the least part, I have to go grocery shopping once a week for bananas. But one of the times I can go and I can just buy like 30 apples, and those 30 apples will get me through the next month. But with like, I could go grocery shopping, and like when I get those apples, I could also add in one time that I go all of the dates that I need, the beans and the rice and then the nuts, right? I could add all of that in. So I'm going grocery shopping very minimally. Like when I went and bought all this stuff, it was a little more than $100. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's rising up there. But again, like this stuff is going to last me so long. I didn't fill everything to the brim, so it's not going to last me like a full 2 months. I don't know. Again, it depends on like what beans I choose. Also, I was thinking, how can I cook this stuff the most efficiently? Because I have a rice cooker here. I have an air fryer. I obviously have a stove. I have never used my stove. I've never used my oven. I talked about in another video, I have OCD. If I use it, I have to check certain things before I leave the house, and it's just going to cause me more stress. I already have to make sure that the water is off. I have to like touch this, make sure nothing's, even though I can see nothing's coming out here, go to the bathroom, do the same thing there. I just find it very annoying. So I've just decided that I'm not going to use the oven. I don't need to. But I figured like, how can I like batch cook this stuff so it can last me the longest? Because I don't like cooking. I've mentioned that before. I do not like cooking. I could learn to cook. I don't want to. I just want easy meals. So I was thinking that I could soak the beans overnight and then cook them in my rice cooker, because I thought you have to soak them. Then the more research I'm doing, I see videos of people using a pressure cooker. You don't have to soak the rice, or you don't have to soak the beans before you cook them. You can just put them in a pressure cooker, add water, and cook them like that. So I have a pressure cooker coming tomorrow, and that's how I plan to cook all of these beans. I want to cook about a week's worth. How much will I have in about a week? So I will cook some of the pinto beans, some of the garbanzo beans, and some of the black beans. So I always have some on hand. And then I will put them in my 10-cup containers, so I'll use 3 of them. And then when I'm ready to eat it, I will get however much rice I want, put it in my rice cooker, add water, let it cook, and then I will take however much I want of whichever beans, scoop it into here, and let it cook for an extra 5, 10, 15 minutes to heat it up, right? Minimal cooking. I would like rice fresh if I can have it fresh, but like once I move and I have access to a microwave, I just think I'm probably gonna move to the super cubes, because if I have a microwave, I can freeze the stuff into little portion sizes so I can portion control everything. Then I can just put it on a plate, put it in the microwave, let it heat up for 7 minutes, and then eat it. And then that will take up less space too. I could probably have months worth of food in like a freezer this size, right? I could really like prep this out. But like, I'm excited because every time I would go to Whole Foods, it's like, oh my gosh, it's going up. It's $100 now. Now it's like $200. I'm like, I'm spending more money on food. And my other issue with food is that I buy food that I want to have, and then I get really bored of it. Like, I can eat the same thing every single day. I don't have an issue with that. My issue is when I'm eating food that I don't really like, and then it expires soon. Oh, you know, it's not even that I don't really like it. It expires soon. The issue is it's going to expire. I can't just have it out here like beans where it's going to stay for like, 6 months to a year. I mean, if this is like it's air pressure tight and if the air is gone, it could probably last like this in these containers for like what, a year, right? But like if I have food like this, how long is that going to last? right? It actually came frozen, and I would put it in my freezer, and then when I'm ready to have it, I would leave it overnight in my fridge to let it thaw. So it's already been thawing. Like, it's good to eat because I've had 3 of them. But like, there's certain food I'll buy and I'll be like, I'm not going to eat this. I should get rid of it because I hate allowing food to expire. And then it's like, I could have given it away. I didn't have to throw it away. I could have given it to someone who's actually going to eat that food. So that's my goal, especially for like the microplastics. I know the last video or the video before that, I talked about how I want to like try to avoid microplastics. Obviously I can't hit 100%, but I feel like this is a start, right? Because I'm bringing food into my home. I'm using 100% cotton bags to bring it in, transferring it to mason jars. And then you know what? Gosh, I shouldn't have gotten the carrots. I didn't think of that when I bought the carrots. I should have bought the carrots separately and put them in my bag. That's the only thing that I got that I didn't put in my own bag. I can't believe that, and I just now noticed it. But yeah, I am excited to save a lot of money on groceries because I probably spend like, if I'm spending over $1,000 a month on groceries, that's over $12,000 a year. And that's not including going out. It's not like I go out to eat all often. It's just that I would get DoorDash so much that like it adds up. You have to add a big enough tip because if you don't, then nobody's going to pick it up and deliver it to you. And it's just all of these extra fees on top of this is the amount that you have to pay. And again, it just adds up. You know, some people I was doing DoorDash at most 4 or 5 times a week, sometimes multiple times a day. That's insane. That is insane. No more. I still have my DoorDash account. I'm going to keep it for now. If something were to happen and I need to get food, fine. But like, I shouldn't need to because I have a lot of food here. You know? I think the hardest thing for me is going to be figuring out how can I get enough calories in the day? Because I've been like not getting enough calories. There are certain days where I will, and I'm like, how did I do that? I have these protein bars. I have these protein bars up here, and it's, oh my gosh, if I can get one out. 240 calories per bar. So for the days that I'm like, I need to eat more, I'll eat one of these. And it's 14 grams of protein, which is pretty good. But I also haven't been eating the potatoes because I need the pressure cooker so I can cook the potatoes. I could do it in the air fryer. I feel like it would just take too long. I could probably do it in my rice cooker. I feel like it would also just take too long. So the pressure cooker was supposed to be delivered Monday. It's supposed to come tomorrow now, Sunday, because today is Saturday. So yeah, I'm excited to just like prep all that stuff and just make my life easier. So I also like, it will be nice to think less about food. What am I going to eat next? Like, what are my options? And I wasn't really doing that before unless I ran out of food. I'm like, okay, I need to order more food. I need to stop doing delivery because like, it's just a lot of driving for those drivers. I feel like I should care more about the environment too. Like, why am I paying someone to drive when I could just do grocery shopping on my own once a week or whatnot? But now more like once a week for bananas, and then once a month for apples, and then once every 2 months for everything else. It should simplify it. So I'm on day 2 of having my banana smoothie. So now I have, let's see, there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bananas left. And I had 1 apple so far. So yeah. And then also I think with like having this 16 options for the rice rack, that I should be able to add different flavors, you know, so it shouldn't really get boring. I think the only other issue would be if I'm going out somewhere and I want to bring food with me. Well, actually, you know what, that won't. I have a protein bar in my purse at all times. When I go to the dog rescue, I have like 2 extra protein bars in the backpack that I bring because I have like a change of like, not a change of clothes, but like my coveralls that I wear. So if I'm ever out and I need food, it's like, oh, I have a protein bar. And then I have like this 40-ounce water bottle I think that I bring. So it really shouldn't be an issue. But if I were to go on like a longer, like a day trip, then it's be like, what kind of food would I bring with me? I guess I would just bring an apple. Yeah, that's not bad. Well, I'm excited. I think next, I bought some more clothes, right? Because I need to make the video about my clothes. I bought some 100% organic clothing that I need to go through. I bought some new pieces because I've been wearing certain things and I'm like, I should buy more of that. So when that comes, I'll then make a video about that. And then I need to make a video about my bathroom as well and the changes that I need to make over there. So yeah.